I'd like you to correct this impression. I think it was about 11 months ago that the federal government promised to build 3 new refineries. Was that not correct?
Yes.
So now, what's happened to the plan?
Well, the plan is not, is to build a refinery takes a lot of consideration. You have to do feasibility studies. You have to get, when government said they are going to build refineries, it's not that government is going to build it, just using its own resources alone. It's going to be with cooperation with some other investment. You see, if we've built 3 refineries at a cost of $3 billion each, that's $9 billion.
Didn't government know all this before they promised to build that?
No, I've not said that it has stopped. I'm just saying that, it is a question of balancing your needs with what your projections are. In this country, we're juggling. It's easier to juggle 2 balls at the same time. It's more difficult to juggle 3, and certainly more difficult to juggle 5. But we're juggling about 7 balls at the same time.
Who chose to juggle the balls?
That is the situation we find ourselves. I mean, Nigeria didn't start today. Nigeria started quite a while ago.
Has the plan been bungled? Because we also read it in the news that the 3 new refineries that the president talked about 11 months ago has been cancelled. So there was no plan in the pipeline in building us a new refinery.
I cannot say that it has been cancelled. I cannot. I don't have that information.
Because again, we also saw also in the news that a Chinese company was coming in to build the refinery, and there are so many projects. I mean, there are so many offers. I also am aware about that. The MOU that has recently been signed. Those who wanted to build 6 refineries. There's so many things that are in the pipeline. But Dr. Okupe, this will be a big plus for this present administration if they can actually give the nations even 1 refinery, so that this whole scam, taking this stuff out and bringing it in, and all the derivatives that comes out of the refined product, we don't even bring them back to the country, and that is money again for the people. And we haven't even talked about those ones.
What I can assure you, because I am an insider, what I can assure you, and I'm talking truthfully and honestly, is that everything is being done to protect the interests of the majority of Nigerians in virtually all facets of enterprise in this country. The government is very intense in its efforts to alleviate pain and poverty of its citizens. I'm telling you for a fact. And on this issue of petroleum and all that, government is taking very deep consideration, and looking for and consulting with the best people in the world to find a reasonable. There are many modules we can follow, but we've got to look at our own environment, our population, and our income, and balance them in a way that I am telling you that in the life of this administration, certain issues will be resolved categorically.
Which one is topmost?
Power.
Let's talk about this power. You seem to like this power, and you thought this power we have here.
No, I'm excited about power. I'm excited because it was something that was
let's talk about it. How well are we doing so far?
We're doing so well, and I'll tell you, and I'm not just boasting or bragging here. I'm telling you, when this administration came to power, power supply or power generation was just slightly under 3,000 megawatts. We had various challenges, very serious challenges. There was challenge of generation capacity. There was challenge of what to do with NIPP projects that were already abandoned. There were challenges of even when they are on, what do we do? How do they get gas? Because those who cited them did not think about the gas supply for these things. There were challenges about privatization. There were challenges about transmission and distribution. So the whole power sector was in a total mess when the Jonathan administration came on board. You're smiling, but that's the truth. But today, I can inform you, one, we are today generating more than double the capacity that we met.
What are we generating?
We are generating about 4,850 megawatts today. All right, and in actual fact, prior to today, I know that the generation potential increased to about 5,300 some time ago. Now, it's not just that we're generating 4,850 megawatts today. That is good news. But the thing is that today, the NIPP projects, the 10 of them, have virtually all been completed. And various modules from them are now contributing are not contributing into the national grid. When there was power some time ago, some of the critics said, oh, it was because there's rainfall, there's water level in Kanji and all that. Now that has been, rain has stopped since, and the power is still reasonably steady.
I think that.
Can I finish?
Before you finish,
yeah.
I think that sometimes we should pose those questions to Nigeria. I mean, Chamberlain asked you how was it Chamberlain or Sulaiman? I asked you how we're doing, and you said we're doing fantastic.
We're doing very well.
But sometimes I think
compared to where we're coming from,
when we say some of those things, we have to ask the end users, those who actually use the electricity. We might be doing very well in generation, and a host of things might be looking up in terms of infrastructure that we're laying on ground. But in terms of what the receiver, what the end user gets at the end of the day,
you have just come back. You have just come back from leave, from a very long leave. I watch channel television every day, and I watch so many programs. And there's a particular program which, I saw a lot of emails from all over Nigeria, from ordinary Nigerians saying, oh, thanking James Olotu, who is the managing director of the Niger Delta Power Company. Thank you very much. I live in so Abraka, so. We have now power 16 hours a day. We have power 18 hours a day. The end user, also go on the social network. People have accepted that there is a major improvement in power. What I heard recently is that, oh, there's a drop. There was a drop some time ago, yes. And I asked them in the power ministry, and they said it was due to some technical issues. But also, the truth of the matter is that we must accept and we must give kudos when they are due. We just don't have to.
Well, the Nigerians are not reluctant to do that. I mean, when power.
What about you? What about you? Are you ready to give kudos when it is due?
Why not?
Correct. So,
I'm not averse to giving.
Where do you live?
But
where do you live?
That's not the question.
Is there no power in your area
wait,
now?
that is not the question.
What's the question?
I mean, I was away on leave. You've pointed that out. You did not ask him what I was doing away on leave. Why I was away on leave.
You enjoying yourself.
No, there were
you work so hard.
A host of things to do. Of course we do, but. The thing is this, there are a host of issues yet to be resolved in the power sector. A host of things still, it seems that I had cause to visit PHCN, while I was away on leave. So there's still some disconnect between the policies of government and, what exactly is obtainable on ground, especially at the PHCN offices, and even with the end user. And I think that at the end of the day, the feedback from the end user should be the most important thing.
Yeah, the feedback is very encouraging. I'm saying I listen to radio, it's my job. I listen to television, and I'm saying that, averagely what I get is very encouraging. The problem now, the challenge now that is facing the nation, is transmission, is the interface between transmission and distribution. We are actually generating more power than our transmission infrastructure can offload. And I'm telling you now that between now and the second quarter of next year, there's enough funds set aside, about $300 million, to fix this problem. All right. And once this problem is fixed, and the NIPP projects come fully on stream by second quarter next year, and this is seriously, I'm talking very seriously.
Second quarter.
Yeah, there will be at least 7,000 megawatts of power available for distribution with a transmission network that can take it.
Second quarter of next year.
Yes, and I'm telling you that, averagely by that time, most cities in Nigeria, that's what I'm saying, that look, good things are coming to Nigeria.
And by the end of next year, how much?
Between 2013 and 2014, 85% of our power problems will be solved. You can hold me accountable for this. I'm telling you that this Jonathan administration will be the government that will resolve the intractable problem of power.
You said this 4 months ago.
Hold us on this matter.